Session 2. So we are in our EDU 485 course on social and emotional learning. This will be a hybrid course, and so that all of the information on the details of how that works out will be shared a little bit here, and then also in an announcement. You'll see the announcement by the time you'll see this video. So this video is particularly just to kind of quickly review Blackboard, and then we're going to go into our syllabus and our calendar. And so actually there's two videos. So this one's just going to be going over our syllabus. So here you want to click on the arrow down as you use right now Blackboard Ultra for this course. So it may look different if you are used to the regular Blackboard. So you guys want to click on the side button, and then here you will find the welcome letter, kind of just going over things of what to expect this week. And then meet your professor, and then here's our syllabus calendar. Obviously the videos right here that you'll get to, the class norms, our lectures, and then don't worry about the discussion board for the week, as that will be we will actually be doing this activity in class on Wednesday, and then you will be typing up, I'll go over it on Wednesday too in class, you'll be typing up kind of like what you guys talked about in the discussion in person on here before Sunday in order to receive credit. And then we won't be like writing, posting to our peers, or we won't be like commenting on our peers' posts just because we had already talked about it in person, okay? So I'm going to go to the syllabus. Okay. So here you guys can review on your own our course description and our student learning outcomes. They really do help explain what the course will be going over this term, and like what the goals basically for them. And then we have our APA manual that is required, but obviously if you already have it, do not buy again. And then we have one textbook that is Beyond Behavior Management. It's a pretty inexpensive book that's helpful. You can get it used online. So that's also great. What I really like about this book is that it can be used as a future resource in using it in the classroom. So that's really great. Has a lot of like hands-on activities you guys can incorporate. And then the California Learning Foundations are also required, but it's free using this link below. So you can just click it. If you ever wanted to get the printed book, you can do that, but it would cost money. So this is an inclusive classroom environment. It's a class that's important and rich on discussions and participation. And so we want to make sure we're creating a safe environment, an inclusive environment to share, our own social emotional development history, and also how to improve in our future or current classrooms. And so this type of topic obviously requires a level of comfort and just, affirming and a safe place to do so. So that's important, and we will go over that in our class norms Jamboard that's also due this week, so that's helpful. So here's our university information and resources and services. So if you have any needs, these are all of the wonderful resources that the university has for you to meet them. Okay. And so we're going to go into assignments. And so I'm going to actually continue to scroll down. So how this class is going to work, because it's hybrid, essentially Mondays so our class is scheduled for Mondays and Wednesdays, right? So Mondays will be online and fully online, no Zoom, and you will be working on the activities that are within the module. Typically, that's our readings in our lectures, things like that that are more kind of solo anyways. And I kind of feel like, yes, I could do the lectures in person, but it's kind of like, why not do that online? And then when we meet on Wednesdays in person at our normal scheduled time at 4, we'll have that be more for the like interactive time with our group. So I thought that would be a cool way how we do it, and we'll kind of play with it through the semester as well. But I think that'll be fun and really help with your guys' learning outcomes. So if you guys want to go over my assignment policies, it is the child development policy afterwards. So that's helpful that it's consistent with that. But essentially, I accept assignments 1 week past the due date with approval. So I do need to hear from you what the reason is. And once you receive my approval, you have a week to submit it with a grade deduction. And so that's a 25% grade deduction. And then you'll be able to still get like the feedback on the rubric, but you won't be receiving feedback like within your actual like submitted documents. I add a lot of comments, and so you wouldn't be getting that, but you would be getting the rubric. And so then here's the grade breakdown right here. And then I do want to go into explaining your core assignments. And so we have one big project for the whole class, but you work on it throughout the semester. And so I broke it down into 3 parts, and they kind of just like add on each other. And then within that, I even kind of help in terms of like weekly work sometimes. Like you'll kind of start working on the assignment the week before. So it kind of helps you guys like, one, get some of the work done, but also like if questions start to come up, like they come up and we can talk about it in class before the assignments like actually due. So I find that to be helpful. So the first part is a self-reflection paper, and it's in APA style. Obviously, it's self-reflection, so there are no citations necessarily needed unless you did cite the book for whatever reason. Not necessary, though. But APA in terms of format, right? So it just means like double space, Times New Roman, 1-inch margins. Title page doesn't count towards the 4-page mark, but, title page needed. And when I say it's a 4-page amount, I'm not saying, you fill the page just to meet the mark, right? I want the prompts to be really thought about, reflected on, and in depth, and and vulnerable, open, authentic responses. So that's what I'm looking for here. Not word count, not page count, but not necessarily. And then try not to go too over. Sometimes I find students also will go to like 6 pages and 8 pages, and then it's just, if each person does it, it's a lot more time I have to spend on grading them, and it can get challenging in meeting that need when it wasn't expected, right? When there are 4 pages required. So once we write this self-reflection on like our social emotional learning growing up, kind of like what was expected of us, right? How did people treat us? Where did we maybe lack in our, in our development, right? We then go into our literature review, because then we want to grab like, well, shoot, didn't have a positive attachment with my caregivers, so I struggle with attachment myself. I don't know how to really help kids grow their attachment skill. So I'm going to now study on attachment. And so then you guys would be choosing 2 of our life skills, which they call them in our textbook. And you'll learn about that in our first lecture, because I do like an overview of them. And you'll pick 2 of them and then do research on them. And so you're going to be selecting, let's see, where is it? Journal articles. So it's a total of 2 empirical articles, and then 2 secondary journal articles for each life skill. So it's a total of 4 total articles. So it's not too heavy. It always takes time to find the articles, and I think people That's like the hardest part people can struggle with. So if you do have a hard time, let me know. And then like kind of like a few weeks before that, we can kind of go over like library stuff and how to find articles. And maybe we'll want to do that part of our class time too. So with the literature review, it's not like writing out per article and you're just talking about each article separately, right? It is a paper that is cohesive, meaning you gathered all your articles, you read them all, and now you're going to just kind of tie it together and formulate, your own idea base, your own conceptualization of all of the articles combined. And so there is a title page, an intro, the literature review section, a conclusion, and a reference page. Now, this one is 6 to 7 pages of content, which is, once you have the articles, I think that's the hardest part. It's pretty easy to write from there. And then, the page count doesn't include the title page and reference page. Okay. And so with that, I want to say, if you guys ever need assistance in any way, please, reach out to me. If you haven't written a literature review before, right? So once you've done all of your literature, you're like a pro now. Now we're going to do presentations. And here we're going to be creating a PowerPoint and presenting it to the class. And so you will be doing a brief summary of the 2 life skills, and you'll be talking about how the life skills relate to the California Preschool Learning Foundations. And then you're going to be demonstrating at least one example of the actual application of the life skill in practice. And that would be like with 4-year-olds. And so you're going to be basically like treating the classroom as your students. And so you'll be running it like, we're your student and doing the activity with you. And then you can, if there's any activities that have handouts, you can include those and bring those as well to class. We will be doing these in person. I think it'll be more fun that way than online. Just more interactive. And another thing that I was also thinking that could be cool with this, and this is just me thinking out loud, and we can talk about this in class. I was also thinking it might be cool, like if you are in a classroom setting right now, or you're like around this age group, if you do a video of you doing it with kids. Just make sure you have consent, obviously, to record these children, please. And so that might be cool too. I was thinking about that. And then you could show the video to us and put it in your PowerPoint as opposed to, doing the application actually in class. So that's another idea. I think that could be really fun also. And then the other application needs to be including the classroom environment. So how would we change a specific space in the classroom to further, let's say, grow the development of attachments, okay? And so for this one would probably be more of a visual. It would be like either photographs of what you did in a classroom or video clips or ones that you found online as opposed to giving it to showing us in class. That would be very hard. You're not going to be recreating it in class. If you guys do use other people's work, you do need to cite them in the presentation. Also helpful in your presentation if you could include links to places so people can look back and grab those links at a later date. That's always wonderful. So grading rubrics, I don't want to go over these because I'm actually going to change it. I've been doing a rubric for each one. And I actually think instead, moving forward, I will be giving you feedback on each assignment, 100%. And that's usually like comments throughout. But I'm actually going to be working on a rubric right now. I'm making one rubric for the whole entire project. It would just be like, several boxes for the self-reflection, several boxes for the literature review, and then several boxes for the presentation. Okay. So once you guys watch this video, let me know if you have any questions, and then we can go over that in class together. And then I'm going to be doing a separate video for the calendar right now. Thanks, guys.